Merry Christmas to you and your family this holiday season. Thanks for listening to CFC's Daily Christmas Podcast. We hope that this podcast, from the staff of CFC, encourages you and inspires you this holiday season. We would love to invite you to join us on December 23rd at 10 a.m. for Acoustic Christmas and December 24th at 4 or 6 p.m. for Christmas Eve. For more information, visit our website, www.cfcwired.org.
One of the things that captures so much of my attention around the Christmas season is the lights. I think it's the lights that give my home more of that Christmas feel more than any other decorations. I've got lights on my tree, lights wrapped around the banisters, lights draped over the windows with garland. For some bizarre reason, I even enjoy fixing all those half-burned out strings of lights. It's a sickness, really. But what I really love is just turning out everything but the Christmas lights and then sitting back and just enjoying the colors, the soft glow, and all the little shadows they seem to cast everywhere. Every year, I always set up a big layout of old Lionel trains on the living room floor around the Christmas tree. And this year, I've actually managed to get 3 trains running simultaneously, one for me and one for each of my kids. It takes, about a third of my living room floor, and somehow my wife not only tolerates it, but actually embraces it. Anyways, one of the coolest things, though, is when you turn out all of the lights and just let the trains run. Because you've got the light on the locomotive, lights in all the little windows of the passenger cars, lights on so many of the action accessories. Anywhere the designers could, they added lights. It's really quite a sight. But if you really want to see something magical, run all the trains along with all the Christmas lights. Somehow, I think I'm not the only one who enjoys the lights up and down the streets in my neighborhood. There are plenty of homes lit up quite brightly. There's the one family that turned their railings on their steps into giant candy canes. Then there's the guy who uses blue LED strips everywhere. And of course, one house has a light-up inflatable Grinch. Thankfully, none of my neighbors are the Griswolds, but dark isn't exactly one of the words I'd use to describe my neighborhood around Christmas time. I really think that this is all pretty fitting, actually, considering that on that very first Christmas, Jesus was welcomed into this world with light. In Luke 2, we read that there were shepherds tending their sheep that night, and that out of nowhere an angel showed up. It also says that the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. That must have been quite a sight, honestly. No city lights, no nearby airport runways, no street lights, just stars, then suddenly angels in the glory of the Lord. Then, of course, there were the Magi who followed the light of the star to the place where the baby Jesus lay. It's all the more fitting, then, when we see in the Gospel of John that Jesus is called the light of the world. In John 8:12, Jesus says, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And again in John 9:5, he says, "While I am in the world, I am the light of the world." So as we go through this Christmas season, and as we see all those beautiful, cool, amazing, and sometimes just plain silly lights, let's focus on the true light, Emmanuel, God with us, Jesus, the light of the world.
This has been a podcast devotion of CFC. Please join us on December 23rd and 24th, and Merry Christmas.